Hello, hello, beautiful, beautiful women of the world. Welcome. Welcome to my show, Your Radiant Life After 55. It's a show for women who want more from life, who are not done living yet. And as you have probably seen, my last show was with somebody who lives an ageless life. And today I have somebody else again who is a co-author of the book, Ageless Voices, which will be launched later on this month or next month, but very, very soon, I think within the next 2 weeks. And I'm so looking forward to interviewing her. Her name is Barb Laubman, and I love her. I mean, you must love her the moment you see her. She radiates joy and ageless beauty. So without further ado, I want to start because we started a couple of minutes late here because something happened. Technology, right? So yes, welcome, Barb. So let me ask you something. The funny thing is here, I actually have a short bio of you. So maybe I read this first and then we start our conversation. So Barb is a transformative guide for women over 50, empowering them to reclaim radiant health, deep peace, and unshakable joy from the inside out. You see it in her, right? So you always get somebody who not only talks about it, but walks it and shows it herself. So you have that in her. So with over 5 decades of personal growth experience and mastery in Usui Reiki, Barb blends time-honored wisdom with profound healing energy to awaken her clients to a life beyond age limits. Her own journey of transformation fuels her unwavering commitment to help women rise with renewed vitality, purpose, and power, turning every chapter of life into a celebration of strength, resilience, and boundless possibility. Welcome. This is so amazing. Wow. And as I already mentioned before, you absolutely, you exude this, all of it. So, Barb, tell me a little bit about you. Who are you?
Who am I? Well, that's a loaded question.
I know. But just, in one sentence, what would you say if you would have to put who you are in one sentence? What would you pick? I
I
know I probably should have forewarned you with that question. I didn't, so it's
That's okay. That's all right.
out of the blue.
I think that well, who am I is really, I guess if you're narrowing it down to one sentence that describes me is just somebody that has resilience
Beautiful.
over any obstacle that's come her way.
Well, you are perfect for the time that we are living in now and moving more and more into, because that's amazing. Um, and then tell me, you say that you had some pivotal points in your life, and tell me a little bit about some of your pivotal points in your life and why those pivots were made, why you made those pivots.
Sure. Just bring it back to when I was in my 20s and 30s. I actually worked at a time as a counselor with juveniles and their families. And at that time, especially when I was in my 20s, I went through that biological, clock where I could have had 10 children. I loved children. And I was
Time
one of these
I
people
hear
that,
that,
oh,
because that's me too. I said if I could have made money by giving birth,
yeah,
I would have done that.
yeah,
Had to
I
first,
just loved them. I mean, and some people just didn't have that biological, but I did.
yeah,
And I
I know
think
how that
that
feels.
that's probably why I made some bad choices in relationships because I wanted children. So it was trying to rush it to have children. And and I just ended up having a lot of multiple miscarriages. And
Ah,
the last one was we tried other forms, of trying to, be, over like I would have if the marriage would have lasted, we would have gone adoption or IVF or other treatments.
mhm.
But the marriage was dissolving, so that's where, and that's when a pivot for me, there was a couple pivots. One was I started to look at, these parents that had these, coming from the dysfunctional families, having children like rabbits, and I couldn't. So of course, my empathy went. I started to lose that empathy. So I thought, okay, it's time to get out of this. This is and then the next pivot of I had to make other choices in life. Okay, somebody said to me, which is quite interesting, if you believe in other multiple lives, he said,
Mhm.
Barb, you're just taking a break in this lifetime.
Oh, I- perfect. I'm just studying the gene keys. I don't know, Richard Rudd, if you know about the gene keys.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know a lot about that, but no.
Yeah. Yeah. So for this week, it was about that life is supposed to be easy.
Mhm.
That wonderful, right? So we always think life is hard, and that's just how it is. That's how it is designed to be. And yeah, it teaches you resilience, it teaches you character and all of this. But once you go through all of this,
Mhm.
life really supposed to be easy. And if we and we know it also because we learn that once you're in the flow, you're open to receive more. It's just and everything becomes easier.
It
So
does. It
easy.
took me a long time to learn that, though.
Yes. Yeah, because we women especially, because we always wear so many hats, right? The ting, 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 all of these things
Mhm.
that we are supposed to be good at or master. Yeah.
Or master, exactly. And it's sort of like if it's not, and my old way, like when I say that was then, this is now. My old way of thinking is if it's not hard, if you're not working hard, and then things don't come easy.
Yeah.
It was that old way of thinking. Now it's like if it's not ease and flow,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. So, what happened in the last 3 years?
Okay, in the last 3 years, well, there was multiple pivots after that, but the last 3 years is where I was actually I was very successful in what I was doing, but I was a contract worker. So the retirement, like the
Mhm.
income was not there, as far as
Oh, yeah.
yeah, when that ends, like there's no pension plan per se. And
Yeah.
I always knew that, I mean, you don't want to stop. I never wanted to stop, but I wanted something that was something
Yeah.
I could do
It's
forever, right?
sufficient,
That
right?
you could
Yeah. Yeah.
continue doing.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
but I didn't know what, I just thought, oh, okay, it's ended. What else do I do? And so I went through lots of courses, lots of training, and reinventing myself. And I think that's where, when you talk about the stumbling, I know people that I knew closely were going, oh, Barb, I can't believe all you're doing. They were just, I wouldn't do that, but you do what you have to do. But I realized the growth that was happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's an ageless way of thinking, because just because I'm in my mid 60s doesn't mean that you stop learning or growing. And
Yeah.
that just and something totally new, that there's lots of new ventures here. And it's
Yeah.
not something that is, I mean, obviously there's some skills that are transferable, but it was really starting from
All over. And
all
and
over.
there's something exciting about it, scary as well. And it
Mhm.
takes courage, right? It takes it takes courage to do that. But you had I read a little bit about the first story in the book that you are co-author in, and it talks about your mother and your grandmother, what amazing women they were, ageless and
Oh,
very they were kind of your forerunners of how you want it to be, right?
And my mom still is. I mean, she's, there's certain physical things that are happening now, but she still has that mindset. And that's
Mm,
why she lies her age.
yeah.
She won't tell anybody her age. She just says, no, that they don't need to know that. And she's still got the flaming red hair. She's
How old is she?
92.
Oh my goodness, incredible. Isn't that amazing? You're so lucky. My mother died at 83. Yeah. So, but she, when she died, I'm not sick. Well, she was never sick, but she had a massive brain hemorrhage. So
Uh,
she practically died in her sleep from one moment to the other. Yeah, which was tough for us, but I guess a great way to go.
if you're going to go, that's the way to go in your.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, but she was a how would you do that? Almost like a child woman, not childish, but childlike.
Mhm.
She carried that curiosity and that innocence, and that's something that keeps women young, being
Yes,
curious, being.
yes.
And I remember I always tried to make myself a little older because I always looked younger. So I was bragging that I was actually already in so I added a little bit.
Until you hit a certain age, then you go back.
Yeah. And now I just say it as it is. I'm 78. So, but I'm still going. And
I know you're amazing.
yeah, after COVID, I started anew again. So, but we are, because that's what we want uh, to experience what we experience. We want others to experience as
Mhm.
well. Women, and there is this thing that after a certain age, you're not really, especially in the Western, or in the United States, especially, you're not really valuable anymore.
No, you're not.
Mhm.
No, you're not. And you know what? And one of the things too is just, well, this year, another milestone for me was I was a person that ate a lot and ate a lot of sugar. I had a big sugar addict, and it was okay when I was burning off the calories but when I started to have the injuries in my and start to have the broken bones in the 60s and had to really make a pivot there. I was still eating a lot. And this year I set a goal. I went, okay, I'm going to turn 70. I want, and you start thinking about longevity, about, we could be here a long time
That's
still.
the 70. Yeah,
Yeah.
my mother always says, really, when you think about aging, and aging doesn't start until you're 70.
And I asked myself, and I asked myself, what my 70s to look like?
Yeah.
And I lost 40 pounds. Well, 34.
Wow.
My goal was 40, but I thought, I don't, yeah, like 34.
But you have been a not only an athlete, but an extreme athlete, right? You have
Yes.
been a high intensity athlete. So your body kind of has a memory of that. So
It
I
did.
guess it was easier for you than for somebody who would not
Well,
let
I
it.
don't know if because that a sugar addiction was really bad, and that's a huge addiction for
Yeah.
a lot of
And not only for gaining weight, but also for other,
health. Health.
metabolic. Yeah.
Well, I started thinking, I mean, yes, the weight gain was the biggie, but it was more, I mean, the loss, not gain, but the real thing was health. I was really thinking of health. And I mean, I'm really because I thought, well, you're Barb, you're promoting, with the Reiki, the energy, I mean, health is wealth, huge, and that is a huge aspect. So I didn't have health issues, but I thought I could. If I continued, I would have.
Prevention, right? Prevention is not waiting until
Yeah.
the first signs come, because then you're already in the yellow zone. Don't want to wait.
Exactly. And I thought, okay, do we want to get to that point or do we want to do something now? And I also wanted to, yeah, it's like what else could I do? Like, okay, I turned the mindset around with this. So what else can I do now? So it just opens the door.
Perfect, perfect. And also, you can help other women do the same because it's
Yeah,
not that you just talk about it, but you experience. So you can go through your own journey and have empathy and also can advise and share what it is like, what the pitfalls are and how you overcome them. Yeah, I think that's
sure.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
it is, I mean, people that knew me were surprised because they knew how bad I was. And they thought, and you're still not having it? Nope. And they're just unbelievable. So I was giving myself a lot of pats in the back for that one.
For you, because sometimes we women forget to give ourselves the pats or
Yeah.
to really say, well done. Yes, rather than finding. So this wasn't really all perfect, wasn't all that great. And, finding something
Oh,
negative. Because it is so important. Our body listens to every
yes.
word we say and every feeling we have. So
Oh, it
your
does.
body the right out the messages you want your body to receive. So
Very much so. Very much so.
yeah,
And yeah, and that's exactly it. It's giving yourself your own personal affirmations
yeah,
are so
yes,
important.
yeah, exactly. But
And
then you also have to do something, right? And then you did, because
yes,
taking
oh, yeah,
action.
you can't just talk.
The,
But
the
it was,
best visualizations and affirmations don't work if you just stay there and say,
yeah.
okay, so now what's going to happen? You say, okay,
Oh,
now
exactly.
you make the first step and do something about it. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Actions speak a thousand words for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely. But
Yes.
it does. But what it did is I'm going, well, if I can do that, I can do anything.
Yeah. So when you say you have been an extreme athlete, but for example, I ran the New York Marathon twice. So
Oh,
everybody has something where you
yeah.
say, I challenged myself to do something, and I did it after I at 42, so under four
Yes.
hours. So that was a goal, right?
Good for
So,
you.
so what from that?
I mean, up until I think where the agelessness came in is that yes, I always was, everything I did, even the downhill skiing, going down
Of course, you
yeah,
live in Canada, right? So
yeah, oh
you
yeah, that's true. Canada, yeah, the
You have
skiing.
you, you
No,
have you have snow while I have
oh, I should, yeah,
endless
the only
endless
snow.
summer.
Yeah, we got lots just overnight. But no, it was more, I think where it came really in my 40s, I decided that I started to do really more extreme things. Like and I thought I'm going to, and it was that I'm going to be people that are half my age, and I'm going to be,
Oh,
and
that was the motive.
and it was yes, it was yes, I could competed like if I competed in a cross country, there was a Canadian Birkebeiner cross country ski race. It was 55 kilometers with a 25-pound pack. So it
Ooh,
was just so it was racing in that. Being on my bike, I did one day 5 mountain passes in one day. So
wow.
it was, and then if I went for a hike, it would be 28 kilometers up a hill, up a mountain in one day instead of taking multiple days. So it
Wow.
was just everything was push, push, push.
That's like a marathon. Well, the marathon is 26.1, I think, miles. And you went 28
No,
kilometers?
kilometers. That's
Kilometers.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
That's, but it's just when you're hiking up a mountain, it's a little
Yeah,
different. And
first
you're
of
fat.
all,
Yeah.
the air, yes, the weight, and you have less oxygen, right?
Yes. Less oxygen. My goal at that time is I thought I want to do Everest. I had all these big goals. And I loved when there would be somebody that would be in their 60s, 70s, or 80s doing these activities. And I thought, I want to be them. And that's where that mindset came in as thought, I want to be just like them. And
Yeah,
and they admired me so much. And so I would look at people that were a lot older doing amazing things. And
yeah,
uh, and,
yeah.
and that was where I was going continually until I started to have a little more physical issues with injuries.
So that keeps your body healthy because it creates endorphins, youth hormones, circulation. I mean, everything to get that turnover, and burning calories, of course, as well. A nice metabolism. Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
I
Yeah.
just did, I mean, did a lot of things. Of course, taught her, the aerobics, remember it was no pain, no gain.
Yeah. Well, I used to be like that too, and of course, I until I learned that actually, running marathons is a horrific stress on your body, on everything, on your joints and everything.
Mhm.
I said, okay, so I got my goal. I did it twice, and I wanted to be under 4, and I did it. So let's finish marathons, and in the last, I would say 10 years, 10, 15 years, I think 15 years ago, I started with long and easy, like walks in the forest. I don't
Mhm.
have forest here. I have the beach, walks on the beach, and every day for get out of breath at least twice or 3 times. Just getting out of breath. So you don't have to do a lot. You can do that within a minute, right? With jumping jacks or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you. And that's exactly where I changed. And maybe physically I had to. And I thought I can't continue the way I'm going because I'll end up like a lot of other people getting hip replacements and the knee replacements or whatever else. And I thought my body will fall apart. So I decided, okay, well, let's adapt.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you know what? I enjoy it. I actually like and I love walking. That walking is one of my favorites.
Walking is the most natural thing, right? We used to walk
Yes.
everywhere.
Yeah,
So
I
made
know.
for walking. We are made for walking. And I feel it more and more when I sit for longer than an hour, I have to get up because it feels uncomfortable.
Mhm.
A lot when I dictate something or I'm on the phone, I walk around, So thank God we don't, we have portable phones now. And the other thing I found is that short and intense is better for the body anyway, and because it is more natural. Um,
Mhm.
our bodies are ancient, right? I mean, haven't been designed in modern days, have been designed millions and millions of years ago. So, what is the body made for?
Yeah.
To digest, so we need the right food, and we have some real issues today with that part. Um,
Mhm.
and we would walk all day, more or less. I mean, sitting or sleeping, lying down during the day wasn't anything. If you were sick, you would.
Mhm.
And then your metabolism would slow down, really slow down, because something was wrong, right? So
Mhm.
if you were resting, either you were hiding or you were sick or it was dangerous outside, right? So your metabolism naturally slowed down.
Mhm.
So I pivoted to every 3 times a day, mostly. I do about 7 to 8 minutes. Intense. I do squats. I do certain things, jumping, and just for a couple of minutes to get my metabolism really going, and then your metabolism is going strong for the next couple of hours. And if you do this 3 times, it takes 15 minutes a day. Of course, I also love to walk on the beach, but that's plus, it's not either or. These fast and intense exercises are easy to do, and they are so beneficial for your body.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? And breaking it up like you do is perfect because it just fits into your day. It's
Yeah,
not like you're
yeah,
jotting
yeah.
a lot of time for it. And it revitalizes you. You get
Yes.
energy again.
Yeah,
That's like
I've never liked the gym. Every time I think I went to the gym a couple of times when I was younger in my 30s or so. And then later on, after I ran the marathon, I think I tried it again. But I never got a lot of joy from that. And usually I would injure myself. Machines are not, my body doesn't like working with machines. So I use my own body weight, and everybody can do that. You use your own body weight, and I have a nice definition. So my body
that's
becomes,
great.
that's all you need,
Excellent.
right?
Yeah. And you know what? I've reverted to that too, because yes, I was one of those people that got up really early in the morning and went to the gym every morning. And yes, I did do the weights all the time, but I don't want to do that anymore. Using my body as weight is good enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, would you like to talk a little bit about what it means being ageless? Because the book that we both authors in is Ageless Voices, and our group is called um, Ageless
Ageless messenger tribe.
Messenger Tribe. So being ageless is really kind of a motto that we all resonated with, right? Because we know what that is like. So tell me a little bit about what attracted you to it, and what your contribution was like. I know there were three stories, right?
Two, two.
Two. Okay, you did two. All right.
Yeah, what I saw Joanne on the mastermind when she was doing her. I was so impressed as she'd do a daily video, and then Lucy interviewed her as well on the woman's her group Facebook group, and I was going, you know what? I love what she's representing. That's amazing. That's exactly. And I just thought, well, that's the way I think. And so yeah, so I was drawn. That's how I was initially drawn to Joanne, and
Yeah.
I thought, well, I've always felt ageless my whole life. So and and that's always been around me, that mindset. So it just yeah, that definitely resonated with me. And then my stories, I don't want to go into too much of my stories, but yeah, they just definitely there's been little different little patterns in life that have happened that have definitely created that ageless style of living, and joy and just living with joy. I guess that's the
Mm.
real. I love the Joyanne's name too, Joy.
Yes, right, right.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And I mean, your whole demeanor represents joy. It just exudes from you. You'll probably hear that all the time.
I do. I mean, and yes, there's times, obviously, we're not always like that, but I think what it is that it's the choices, right? I mean, no matter what's going on, we have a choice of how do I want to present myself today? And and yeah, yeah, and looking for the little joys in life. And yeah, I mean, I really do. I've really simplified my life as far as that doesn't have to be the grandiose events that are magical. It's the little daily things that just bring me joy. Even my dog, my dog brings me joy.
Of course,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's just the
So,
simple things in life. And I guess that's what it is coming down to, how can we live and it doesn't have to be grandiose, fun, fearless, and fabulous things. Because yes, I've done amazingly fun, fearless, fabulous things throughout my life,
what was the most
change.
fun thing you ever did? What was the most fun thing
Oh,
you
so many. I'm trying to think of what the most fun.
one of them?
Yeah, I know when you start to think of it, because I know I've stopped. Um, I know when we were doing our documentary, I was just trying to think of things in this past decade. I thought, well, since okay, the ageless, but really, I mean, I've been on lots of trips. I've been, and all my experiences of going away on the cycling trips or hiking or
You put
going.
fun into everything, right?
Yeah, pretty well everything I did was fun. Yeah,
yeah,
there was a
it,
fun factor in it.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
mean there was a fun and fearless and
it's a state of mind, a state of being, you know. You can bring fun into anything, really.
I think so, and I think that's why it's hard to pin one or two because
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I had fun with all of them.
What about your most fabulous or one of the most fabulous things? Well, what are you most proud of?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah, there's a number of things in life. I think where I find that I'm the most proud of is who I am today
Hmm. Yeah.
because of all
Because
I've,
it takes work.
yeah,
It does take work, right? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I can say, okay, I turned 70 in November and I've got so many years ahead and
November.
look what
Right.
I'm doing, what I will continue to do. So
Yeah.
and that's, yeah. So I mean, I guess I'm just proud of the journey that I've
On your journey. Yeah.
still going on, that it
Yeah.
hasn't stopped. I'm not living in the past, it's still continuing.
Yeah. Wonderful. So what are your dreams for the future? You
Oh,
guys have
but
another 20
you
years
know
or so.
what I do? I figured it's about time. I decided 2025, maybe I'll do it then. I'm ready for a really healthy relationship, a
Oh,
romantic relationship. I would really love to meet,
yeah.
that somebody that's really completes my life, that enhances it. And
In
so, yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Would be fun to be with.
it would be fun. Yes, exactly. I thought, okay, I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. It's been a while. I mean, it's fine being on my own, but I don't want to be the rest of my life on my own.
Yeah, that I totally understand. Um, for me, I so enjoy when everybody's gone because I have a rather big family, and so 5 children and 11 grandchildren, and my husband always around, and different husbands over time. I but it's for me, it's the most enjoyable part is having quiet time for myself. So and for others, it's so much quiet time. I would like to share what I love with others. And let me tell you something. There is something that is often misunderstood. When you have a family and children and all of that, that doesn't mean you don't feel lonely.
Mm.
You're not
Oh, good
alone,
point.
but you can feel very lonely because it doesn't mean that you are on the same wavelengths, Because sometimes we feel, and you may have experienced this too by changing maybe your friends over time, that our soul family comes together later.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and even my past relationship
Yeah,
that ended, what I was more lonely then than I was when I left. And that's where the tipping point for me was,
yeah,
okay, yeah, even though I have to start from scratch again and
yeah.
start over, it's better to be happy than
Yes,
stay here.
yes. And it takes courage. So again, you're a beautiful example of somebody who lives by the beliefs you have, by your core values. Because if there's no happiness, then I mean, I do understand that sometimes what happens with soulmates that women have an idea about what a soulmate should be, and they're totally wrong. A soulmate is not a bliss bunny, like so many women say. Well, he should know what I want, what I need, and fulfill all of my dreams and all of this. That's not a soulmate.
Can't
That's
read your mind.
that's an ego mate, right? Yeah. So a soulmate is somebody fulfills you, but also challenges you, because as souls come together so that they help each other to grow. So
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be an abusive relationship, but it could be a challenging one. Like with my husband, he just called in, and thank God it didn't ring. But after 3 years of doing this show at 3 o'clock, he should know not to call at this time.
Oops, I forgot. No.
Hey, but it doesn't upset me anymore. I smile now. In the past, I would get, oh, I get worked up about it. And that's I think, what we learn as well as we get wiser, older and wiser, to just relax, to allow somebody to be who they are in the moment, and if we get upset, it's not their fault. We do that to ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It
Yeah.
it is like it is, and I think that's where I think I've given myself a gift of the involvement that I've done over the past few years is just
Yeah.
being more in that moment, being in the
Yeah.
moment, being in the now, and just
Yeah.
not getting all overreacting and getting worked up. It's just okay. It's happening around you. You got like a hurricane going around you, but let's just
Yeah.
be centered.
This is what really enlightenment, I think, is, because to be totally anchored in to have peace within you,
Yes. Yes.
no matter what.
Hmm.
And this is something that, if you can teach this to women, that's amazing. And I know I can teach it to women. I've always been the center of a hurricane, where there is no wind. The storm may be around me, but I pull you into your center, and you are anchored, and you're anchored in yourself. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. So
Exactly.
yeah, so that's a beautiful thing. It's a mastery. It's a high, and now that we are in spirituality, I know, I remember when you got interested in Reiki, that wasn't 50 years ago, right? That was,
No, the personal development was more personal development, not this,
yeah,
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 the Reiki. No, the Reiki was the last 3 years, 3 years, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, because I kind of brought Reiki to this island here about 30 years ago. So 30 years ago, it was one of the first spiritual things I was interested in. And because I was always interested in healing and living a healthy lifestyle and all of that. But what I looked into different healing modalities, and what I loved about Reiki was that you don't manipulate anything.
Mm,
You're just a conduit, just a
you
channel.
are. You're a shortcut. And I just kept on going with Reiki so that I could attune people so that they could teach them to do the same thing for
Yes,
themselves. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, you contribute to the uplifting of humanity through the collective field, because sometimes we believe that whatever we do only concerns ourselves and maybe our inner circle, but no, it goes out in the ether. It goes out, it
Sure.
adds
Energy, right? It's
energy
energy.
to the collective, and either positive or negative. So
Right.
yeah,
Exactly. And
yeah,
it
it's kind
seems
of
to,
from the micro to the macro.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Have you noticed a big change in this past year,
yeah,
especially?
yes. Well, since 2012, we entered the age of Aquarius,
Right. Yeah.
right? So, and this last year, um, it was I mean, even on the outside, nothing is staying the same. Everything is challenged, everything is changing, and it's an interesting time. And we moved into Pluto, which is the time of also supporting change and supporting the demolition of what is not working anymore. So the old systems are crumbling.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really, and some people, and we, of course, we work more with women. I mean, I don't know if you, but I work mostly with women exclusively now. I used to work with men too, but now I'm exclusively working with women. I believe that women are the pillars of a new consciousness, and they must step forward, because this is a time where not only the divine feminine rises, and that's not just in women, that's also the divine feminine in a man, the balancing of the yin and yang. So this time is so pivotal to our humanity, and so I am grateful that I'm still alive. You still have decades ahead of you where you make a difference, and so Reiki is the most beautiful way of healing everything, Mother Earth, everything, because I even have started an engine in my car that went dead.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
because
Oh,
it's life
energy. Yeah.
force energy,
Yeah.
right? It's energy, and sometimes we don't realize how powerful energy is, and we are energy. So once we focus it, it becomes like a laser beam.
And it's amazing. I know sometimes I forget how powerful it is for other things until oh, I can use it on my computer. No, you can use it on
I use
anything.
it on your computer, especially as we go in all of these sun flares, and so in this age of attacks on technology, and all kinds of things can happen. So to stay resilient is really important. That's what you already are.
Mhm.
And also protecting yourself, protect your aura, and send out light and love and healing, because love is what we need in order to create the world we want to live in.
And and it doesn't have to be complicated. It's like, it is
Now,
all.
you see that the simple thing is sometimes difficult. I
Mhm.
don't know why, because
I
we
know.
always look for something more complex,
I
complicated.
think we think, oh, that's too easy. That's
That's too easy, right? So, no, the easy is maybe, yeah, maybe easy, but it needs commitment, it needs acknowledgement, and yeah, and just doing what what you can do, what you're supposed to do. And many people ask me, well, I still don't know what my purpose is. And I said, something, start by loving yourself.
hmm hmm
That love yourself. Find all of the areas where you criticize yourself, or you get upset or whatever, and just give yourself love and love, and what do you love to do, and
That's
then find
exactly
joy in that. That's it. you know
That's what happens. I think a lot of women, as they start to hit that transition age where, if they're married and they have kids and everybody's there, or maybe their job, they're going into the retirement. Well, what's my purpose now? What do I do? I'm not, what role do I play? And
yeah.
where's your joy? Find a passion.
Let go of the road, take off the mask, or I sometimes say, peel away like you peel an onion, layer by layer, and then another layer comes in, and you're still pretending, there's still this or that. What if I have the courage to take that away as well? Who am I without da 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 da?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're not the wife, you're not the mother, you're not the grandmother, you're not you are, who are you? Yeah. And
I,
it
yes. A child of God. Okay, yes, and
and it's amazing. I mean, and it sort of comes back to, even I remember as a young child, I was very very shy.
Mm.
And I remember I was told, be yourself. Who am I? Who's myself?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that, and then people, and I mean, I think that was a big question for a lot of people for years, right? Who am I? Come on,
Yeah.
figuring out who you are.
It's still I believe that this is still one of the questions that hear, and that's still very prevalent, that people say at a certain age, especially when they have a family, children are out of the house, who am I now? Who
Hmm.
am and what is my purpose? What did I come here to do? And it's a discovery, right? But you don't need to get it all right immediately. It's a journey. So enjoy the discovery, because I find one of the things that really keeps you ageless and young and enjoying life is a curiosity.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's just be that child, like never that
Bring
little,
out your inner child.
your
You
inner
don't
child.
grow old inside.
Yes.
It's the body that ages. And then of course, yeah, then you believe, because you cannot do this and that anymore, and something hurts, then your thoughts create your story, right, about
They
it.
do. They do. And that it is. And it is. And that's the thing. It's never, yeah, you always bring out that, always have grasp onto that little inner child inside of you and never let it go. Like it's just that
What
little
does the inner
magic. Yeah.
child want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's interesting, because what then sometimes comes up is all of the stuff, the SHIT you heard during your childhood or growing up, of what you cannot do, you know. Yeah.
And it's, I just go back to the fond memories. It's like the magic, how everybody loves the magic of Christmas, the lights,
Yeah.
just the little the little fond memories that you forget about the negative and just and the little things and I mean I don't know if I should say it here, but I mean I'm one of these big kids that still laugh at fart jokes. You know what I mean? Like
Whatever brings out a laugh, do more of that.
yeah.
It doesn't matter, because laughing is laugh. I believe that there was a group that had a laughing group to heal cancer.
Laughter is the
Laughter
huge, huge
is
healer.
a
Huge.
healer, right? Yeah,
That's why they would have cancer patients watching comedies.
yeah,
Reason.
yeah, absolutely. Now it triggers, because um, our body is chemistry, right?
Hmm.
And certain hormones, when they are triggered, laughter triggers endorphins. So certain hormones trigger the chemistry in the body,
Yes.
and the body is in an acid chemistry, for example. That's when there's too much of the stress hormone. Um, then it has a hard time to heal, right?
Hmm.
Because and Reiki and all the other healing modalities, natural healing modalities, just
Cut
try
through
to
that.
put the body back into balance, into its natural equilibrium that it always wants to achieve and come back to. And then there are the different layers of our bodies, not only the physical. Then we have, the etheric body and the mental, emotional.
All four, yeah, quadrants, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so interesting. We are multidimensional beings, right?
Hmm. We are.
When we really honor that, not only understand, yes, 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 I know that, but really honor it, then how exciting is that? Your life immediately becomes exciting, right? I mean, really, even without any reason. And that's what I love about happiness. It is self-generated.
It is. It's not looking external for it.
No, it's not because of something here or something there. You can you can
Yes.
generate it.
Yeah.
That's a healing force itself.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. I know in my past year, like younger years, I would always look for the external, for the happiness. So it was seeking the joy. So I was seeking adventures to have that. But as I get to this stage, it's like, oh, I'm comfortable within. I have my happiness within. I don't have to reach anywhere else for it. And
Oh,
that's I just feel so more empowered, much more empowered that way.
and all of that you teach, right?
Yes,
Teach
yes.
all of that. So how can so I would like for you to tell us how you can be reached.
Okay, my Facebook, I'm under Barb Laubman. Um, not so much on Instagram. I'm there, just haven't really been actively on it, but so more
Okay.
Facebook. And I know I have a LinkedIn profile, but it's more Facebook or my email,
Okay.
blaubman@gmail.com.
Okay, Barb Laubman at what dot at
No,
gmail.com?
B, like just my initial B, and then Laubman, or they
Okay,
could just, Facebook's probably the easiest,
yeah,
for.
probably, yes. Okay, perfect. And a last um, golden nugget, last parting thoughts.
Yeah, I guess. Well, the future is infinite possibilities.
No matter your age, no
Yes,
matter your
no
age.
matter your age. Yeah, there's nothing stopping us from living a beautiful, fun, fearless, fabulous life.
Great. I love that so much. Okay, so we are closing it here. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Bob. And the wonderful thing is that we, of course, stay together because we have the book launch and we are friends on Facebook. And I cannot wait. I have to come to visit you in Canada because from this flat, warm, subtropical area, up into the mountain, that would be exciting.
Yes, yes. Well, the mountains are beautiful. They definitely are.
Yeah, I know. And a change of climate, definitely a change of climate.
Oh, you'll get one here. We got
Yes,
lots of
I can
snow.
imagine. Okay, so thank you so much again, and everybody who was here to listen and who is going to have the replay of this. Send Barb your comments. Get in touch with her. She is an incredible healer and somebody. If you want more joy in your life, connect with her definitely. Okay, thank you and bye bye. And next Saturday, I have another one of our compilation book authors on the show. So it's exciting. It's exciting for the next couple of weeks. Every Saturday, 3 o'clock. Bring your friends. Okay, this is it. Bye bye for now.